I will tell you that I don't know definitively the Cavs got better, but I don't think the idea of linear getting better all the time happens all at once, and sometimes you do just have to get different. And I think different is enough right now from where the Cavs are.
Different's good. I needed different. I needed to shake it up. I wanted to shake it up more if I could, but I like shaking it up at least in some sense. Yeah, what's interesting about this, I don't think Peyton Watson all of a sudden made you, like Vegas, if you're 48.5 wins prior to this, you might be 49 on the dot now. I don't think he adds anything really in the win department necessarily as of right now. But if he can do what he did last year and do it at a higher level as far as more games and more production with more minutes, you got a really good opportunity to turn this into a mega steal of a deal.
Yeah, and I think, to me, it's about adding upside. But part of the reason why I think, when you go from Darius to James is you got a decade older and you lose some of your theoretical upside. When Evan doesn't take his big jump, you're losing some of your upside. Adding a wing that can do everything you need him to, if he can just continue to do it with a step forward with kind of more responsibility, adding that at what 3 years from now could look insanely cheap, both financially and for what you traded for him, that's the kind of thing that can take you. We talked a lot about regular season upside. It is the kind of thing that can really swing a series or two once it gets to time that it really matters.
Well, and with Peyton, he was not simply standing in the corner taking 2 shots a night either. His scoring went from 8 to 15 while his efficiency improved. 3 years ago, his true shooting percentage was 53. 2 years ago, it was 56. Last year, it was 59. That tells you he was doing more things, and his usage rate jumped up higher. And there's all sorts of things I can throw at your face to tell you that he is trending in the right direction. And this is an obvious bet on what he could potentially turn into. Will it happen? Well, that's the weird part about this. Like Jason says, they're betting on the development, and that's where I always have a hard time when it comes to the Cavs. They're not great in the development department, so this is one they're going to have to show me that they can develop and they can get increase off of what we saw last year.
I don't entirely agree with you on the development thing.
Oh, I should make sure you want me to say wings in the development area?
Okay.
Is that what you want me to say?
Yeah, I mean, I would say I like Jalen Tyson a lot. Now, unfortunately, Kenny Atkinson didn't like him enough in the postseason. That was a Kenny problem. That was not a Tyson problem. There were moments that were too big for him. How's that kid going to get better? How's that kid going to learn if he's not in the game at those moments? But, I think one of the things, I know Fedor has called out Malik Thomas, and the Cavs really think they have something there. Between Malik Thomas, I don't care that Watson's, 4 years in the NBA. Still very young.
I guess I'm more going over the Kobe Altman era in general.
That's fair.
And I feel like, again, and this is the right bet. You should make it on guys like this who have developed the way they have. 29% from 3 to 35% to 3 to now 41% from 3. And we'll up those shots and see if it stays anywhere close to 41%. It's the right bet. It makes so much sense when you sound it all out. But then we do have to then have him continue to take some steps.
And one of the big things that I like about this is, with DeAndre Hunter wasn't as well-rounded of a player, so he had to do the things that he did well, really well for that trade to work out, and he did until he didn't, until last year, really. But for a half a season, it looked like it was going to work out, and then it didn't. With Watson, he teased some playmaking abilities as an offensive creator this year. And again, that's teasing. Yeah. We've got plenty of guys that have teased that in the NBA, haven't done it. But when you say, that's added value. The defense stuff, I don't think is fungible. I think that's just a baked-in thing. He's a very nice defensive player on the wing.
Yeah, that's who he is.
So you're looking at upside in creation. You're looking at upside in three-point shooting. And so it is a risk. And there's a reason why you can get this player for a single first rounder. Some of that's Denver situation. Some of that it is a risk here. You are projecting, but I think this idea that the only way the Cavs were going to win a championship is if there were a million risk-free propositions falling from the sky. That's hell. Trading Darius for Harden is a risk. You have to take risks if you want to get tangibly better, because not all of them are going to work, but certainly not all of them are going to fall on their face
and this
either.
is a risk worthwhile. Do you want to hear my comp, who I think he can potentially be?
Say comp?
No, my comp.
Okay.
My comp.
Okay, yes, I do want to hear your comp.
Yeah, thank you. Now it's not going to hit with any sort of bang. Now it's Jax. Do you want to hear my NBA comp? You're a big NBA guy.
Can you do this one in a German accent?
Jaden McDaniels with better shot blocking. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I love Jaden McDaniels, so I hope you're right.
Yeah. Now, do we do the second part? Is that how we do this?
I mean, you can. I don't know that. Ugh. I don't know that we're going to appreciate it. But
yeah. You know who I'm married to.
It'd be weird if you were to be the one to do that on the station.
You know who I'm married to. What are we doing here?
Yeah, there's a couple people around the station that I wouldn't put it past them, right? But it's be a real letdown. I do like the McDaniels thing, though. I really, if he can be that is.
People keep going to OG Anunoby. I think like the highest thing you could ever dream of would be like a light version of OG Anunoby. Yeah. I think that's living in a different stratosphere that you just cannot possibly project on anybody, at least with the skill set that he's currently shown. If you can beat McDaniels, that's an awesome development, especially with the idea that you'd guard the very best defender or the very best offensive player on the other team every single night.
I still am a little concerned that the Cavs just walked the two guys who had that dog in them off this roster. Strus and Schroeder, for as imperfect of players as they are, they were guys who never felt intimidated by the moment. Sometime to Schroeder's damage, sometimes he went full Leroy Jenkins on us.
Yeah.
But I'll take that.
That's
as
how you end up on
to
13 different teams in your NBA career.
I'll take that as opposed to turtling. So I think that's still maybe the biggest TBD. But when it comes to glue guys that tie everybody together, Peyton Watson is one of those. And I'm still very hopeful that Jalen Tyson can be one of those guys too. I think Jalen Tyson can be a starter in the league. And he's also a guy that does a little bit of everything really, really well. Tyson and Watson have a chance to really be the kind of connective wing players that make Donovan Mitchell better in the playoffs, that I think can make Harden better, even if we're still going to have his why the hell did you do that Harden moments, because that's baked in with James Harden.
I can't remember who I was listening to earlier today, and they were making the suggestion that the Cavs with this move took themselves to another tier. If they were middle of the pack at one point, now they brought themselves in that tier that still exists below the Knicks. It still exists below the 76ers, but now they're in that second tier, that firm second tier. Do you buy that take?
Not with this trade alone, but I do think that's where we thought they should be anyways. Yes, there's a lot of intrigue in the East. People are crowning a lot of kind of hypothetical teams to this point, including the Heat, including Toronto, including, there was another team I was thinking about that I lost immediately as I went to say including.
Indiana?
Yes.
That was not what he was thinking.
That was not what I was thinking, but it's better than what I was going to pull out of thin air.
That was nice by you.
So I don't think the Cavs are as hypothetical as a lot of the teams that people are already crowning in the Eastern Conference.
Okay. I when Jason said Eastern Conference Finals, anything short of that is a failure. I thought that was heavy-handed.